Welcome, Mother Tammy.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. So basically, today the computer is not working, so I'm working off my laptop. As you can see, there's a difference from the previous ones. I lit the lamp and offered the prayer for the lamp. Om Kribyadam Agnim Pranomidurum Yamarajam Gachutu Ripravaha. And then the customary prayer, Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest of ignorance, and by the sweetest graces of my spiritual master, I was born in the darkest of ignorance, and by the sweetest graces of my spiritual master, my darkened eyes were opened to the self of love in the form of transcendental knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances, gratitude, and homage to him. So for those of you who may be seeing this for the first time, this video for the first time in this series about Japa and Kirtan, welcome, Mother Chandana. And then please look at the earlier videos, the first three videos, with the first three videos explain why we light the lamp and why we offer this prayer and the great significance of lighting the lamp and of saying the prayer and how that helps all of us gain massive value, both in terms of speaking and hearing, so that we can learn things that are of really amazing value. So in this series, we're talking about, I'm just going to do one thing here. We're talking about the 10 offenses to be avoided while chanting the holy names of the Lord. And so, again, in that past video, I showed you the document. So today we're going to talk about the second offense. And the second offense is to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu or Krishna. That's what it says. So look up the document. As you can see in the previous video, you'll see the document. Hopefully when I'm on tomorrow, the document, I will be able to show you the document. I'm doing this as a stopgap measure because the computer wasn't working. And so where I am now, on this computer, on this laptop, I don't have all those documents. And so this is just an emergency situation. But I'll speak about that second offense, and then you can read about that in the document tomorrow, or on YouTube, just go to the previous one and it'll show you the document, and you can freeze the frame where the document is showing up and read the whole document about the 10 offenses that one should avoid when chanting the holy names of the Lord. And if one avoids those 10 offenses, then one will achieve amazing, compelling outcomes, benefits, and emotional triumphs way beyond imagination, way beyond your wildest imagination, or like I say sometimes, your most ecstatic imagination, way beyond that. Okay, so yesterday we spoke about, somebody else, just 1 minute. We spoke about the first offense. And the first offense, welcome, Mother Nancy. The first offense was that one should not blaspheme those devotees who've dedicated their lives to propagating the holy name of the Lord, like that. And see the previous video, it explains it very nicely why we should not do that. Today we're talking about the second offense. The second offense says that it is an offense against the holy name to consider names of demigods like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu or Krishna. Now, we really have to understand what is being said here. What is being said is not that Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are not important, and that they're not powerful, and that they're not lords, like that. That's not what is being said. Because actually one of the qualities that Krishna has is that his devotees are unparalleled. And both Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva are devotees of Krishna and unparalleled devotees of Krishna. They're able to do things that are so amazing that Lord Brahma is called a god of gods, Deva, meaning Deva means God, God of gods. I mean, that's an amazing position like that. That's Lord Brahma, and he's the one who created the material universe. And Lord Shiva has his own category. He is a person who actually transforms from Krishna to the position of Lord Shiva so that he can have dealings in the material world with devotees who have material desires. Material desires are desires that are for the fulfillment of one's own senses, for sense gratification, which sense gratification has nothing to do with God, by the way. Or even if it has something to do with God, then the Lord is subservient to the sense gratification, meaning that I pray to the Lord so that I can be very wealthy. I pray to the Lord so I can be more powerful, this, that, and the other. That means you're using the Lord for your purpose. That is called sense gratification. If you are praying to the Lord for the pleasure of the Lord, that is spirituality. So what is your intention? The intention has to be correct. And the intention should always be, in spirituality and transcendence, the intention should be the benefit of the soul. In the case of spirituality, what benefits the soul, what the soul really wants. And what the soul really wants is when we say that we live life on our own terms, or if I say to you, please live your life on your terms means the terms of the soul, your soul, because that's who you really are. The body, the mind, the intelligence, the ego are tools given to you so that the soul can be served with those tools. They don't become you. Just like, say, for example, I have this phone, it's a tool given to me. I'm not the phone. And I'm not supposed to do things in such a way that the phone takes precedence over me. The phone is supposed to serve me. That's why the tool is given. The tool is supposed to serve the master. So the master of the body, the master of the mind, the master of the intelligence, the master of emotions, the master of insecure ego, master of ego, the master of consciousness is the soul. That's spirituality. Transcendence is when we talk about what is our relationship with the origin of the soul. Where did the soul come from? Who manifested the soul? And that person who manifested the soul is called God, and he comes in three features. The feature of the all-pervasive energy, called Brahmanda, and then the feature of the super soul, called Paramatma, and then the feature of the original supreme personality of Godhead, the supreme absolute truth, Parabrahman or Param Satya, and that's Krishna. So Krishna has a category when he manifests as other personalities, when he incarnates as other personalities, those are all called Vishnu Tattva. So Vishnu Tattva is the highest, and then we are called Jiva Tattva. Jiva Tattva is subject to fallibility. Vishnu Tattva is never subject to fallibility. Vishnu Tattva is infallible. Jiva Tattva is fallible. In between Jiva Tattva and Vishnu Tattva is what is called Shiva Tattva. And Shiva Tattva has a very special role, and that role is to connect the Jiva Tattva back to the Vishnu Tattva. The Shiva Tattva comes from the Vishnu Tattva. And it is a type of Vishnu Tattva, while it's not exactly a Vishnu Tattva. Therefore, it is said that you cannot consider Vishnu to be equal to or independent of Vishnu and Krishna. Vishnu is an incarnation of Krishna. Vishnu means all auspicious God. Krishna means the all attractive God. So the all attractive God is beyond auspiciousness. There are many other things that add on before you become all attractive. And he is the all attractive God, therefore is called Krishna. And so Vishnu is the mediator through whom Krishna may come into this world. He does that because in the spiritual world, there is Mahavishnu there who actually, for the purposes of dealing with those who are in the material world, comes in three forms into the material world. What is called Karna Dakshaya Vishnu, Shira Dakshaya Vishnu, and Garbha Dakshaya Vishnu. And through their agency come all the personalities from the transcendent world into the material world. So in the material world, there are three personalities who are considered very, very, very important: Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. Brahma is the Lord of the mode of passion. He is the one who is the creator. Vishnu is the Lord of the energy of goodness, the maintainer. And Lord Shiva is the Lord of Tamas, and he is the destroyer, like that. These three. So Vishnu himself is Vishnu Tattva. The other two are not Vishnu Tattva, and therefore cannot be considered equal or independent of Lord Vishnu. And if one considers them to be independent or equal, then that is considered an offense against the holy name, because the holy name is non-different than Lord Vishnu and non-different from Krishna, like that. So one should understand the pristine or the preeminent position of the holy name. When we're dealing with the holy name, you're dealing with the best of the best of the best at the highest possible level. So in this second offense, we're advised, please don't just mix positions, don't mix personalities and merge them from one into the other and things like that, because that is simply ignorance. When people talk about merging into God, when people talk about being God themselves, and it's just a matter of time when they will realize that, this is just pure ignorance. There is no such thing. The soul is always individual, and the soul is always ever existing. Means there was no time in the past when the soul did not exist. There is no time that it is existing now, and it will always exist. The soul doesn't merge into another soul and lose its independence or lose its separate existence, independent existence, like that. It never happens. So learning this science properly, the art and science of the holy name, the art and science of relating with the holy name, and the art and science of going back to Godhead, going back to the original supreme planet of Goloka Vrindavan, is called the science, the art and science of Krishna consciousness, the culture of Krishna consciousness. So this is what, when we're talking about the holy name, about Japa, about Kirtan, Japa, as I've said many times before, is the soft calling out of the holy name. And Kirtan is the loud calling out of the holy name. And when that Kirtan is done in the association of others, that's called Sankirtan, means congregational calling out of the holy name. So we should understand all of these three. That's not the purpose of today's video. Today's presentation explains the second offense against the holy name. Now, while I've said that, I want you to know something that is very, very important. Krishna is a person that is so great, he's so nice, he's so good, he's all good, that we can't even imagine how good he is. He always loves us completely. We may forget him, and we do forget him. We may speak against him, and we do speak against him. We do all types of dastardly things in this world, but he still loves us. That's true love. The closest I can come to that is the love that the mother has for her baby. The baby may cause a lot of pain to the mother, but the mother completely loves the baby. The mother is not considering the pain. The love is so powerful that the mother can bear pain that generally I would say men would never be able to bear that amount of pain. They just would not be able to do so. And I'm not, by the way, a feminist here or trying to say some things that is going to be supportive of females over males. I don't have any such role. My role is to speak the science of Krishna consciousness, the art and science of Krishna consciousness, the art and science of God consciousness as it is. I have no agenda here except that the Lord will be pleased and the Lord's devotees and followers will be pleased. That's all. That's my agenda. Why? Because that agenda creates amazing, amazing results. Way beyond imagination, as I've said. So one of the qualities of Krishna's devotees, of the devotees of God, at the level of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is that his devotees are unparalleled. This is one of his qualities. It separates him from him as God in other features. But as Krishna, he has a quality that God, the controller, Narayan, does not have. 4 qualities that Krishna has that Narayan does not have. And one of those 4 qualities is that his devotees are unparalleled. Now, when we say unparalleled, it means that Krishna will sanction that sometimes his devotees will become senior to him, more powerful than him. There are examples of such devotees. That is love. Love means freedom. You have to have freedom. Without freedom, there is no love. You have to have free will and freedom. So in that freedom, Krishna allows some of his devotees to actually direct him. Now you might say, whatever God is that? He gets directed by others. Isn't he smart enough to be properly directed? He is. But out of love, he allows others to actually deal with him in a way that they can actually, in some ways, control him. But that control is of pure love. This is not ordinary control where somebody is exploiting somebody, but that's what we think of control generally in this world. If you're a controller, means you can exploit the person, you can dictate all the terms, this, that, and the other. That person is subservient to you in the sense that you're greater and that person is lesser. You're master and that person is servant. You are superior and that person is subordinate. All these are material sciences, material knowledge that we're so caught up in, and this is why we've already lived billions of lives and are still struggling to get out of this material atmosphere and go back home to the original spiritual planet of Goloka, Vrindavan, and the other planets in the spiritual world. Because we're not ready to give up insecure knowledge. We're not ready to give up illusion. We're not ready to give up sense gratification. These are too important to us. We're hanging on to them like with our dear lives. And that is a huge mistake that we're making. And we don't know the science, the art and science, or how to deal with it so that we can become liberated from these conditions and be in the association of such people who are actually not just liberated, but they are representing the persons in the spiritual world, in the transcendental world, perfectly. They're pure devotees. Coming to the association of such a devotee is the most valuable thing in creation. You could be the richest man in the world and be a multi-trillionaire, multi-quadrillionaire, multi-quintillionaire, and go to whatever number you want to, for billions of lives be in that condition. And that will not equal to 5 minutes of transcendence. Nay, not even 1 minute of transcendence. Nay, not even 1 moment of transcendence. This is the power of transcendence, of transcending false reality, of transcending illusion. Illusion doesn't mean that something doesn't exist. Illusion simply means we're misidentifying. I keep saying this many times. It's like when in the dark, you're walking, you see a rope, and you think it's a snake. That's an illusion. That rope is not snake. Rope is real, by the way. Snake is real, but that rope is not snake. That's the illusion. Material world is real. We're real. Things are happening is real, but we're misidentifying. And that's misidentification is causing untold misery. oceans and oceans of misery. And if you just have a little bit of intelligence and look around, you can see a lot of it. How to get out of that condition is what Japa and Kirtan is about. How do you call out the holy names of the Lord? How do you attach to the Lord in a way that we can transcend illusion and go back home, back to Godhead, go back home to the kingdom of God, the highest kingdom of God? Now you might say, highest kingdom of God? The other kingdom of God? Yes, there is a kingdom of God, but there are different stages in that kingdom of God. The highest stage is considered that which is in Goloka Vrindavan, where everything is in what is called Madhurya Ras, where everything is about eternal love, very blissful eternal love, selfless love. So this quality where the devotee is unparalleled means that sometimes the Lord, even a feature like Narayan, who is also the Supreme Personality of Godhead, by the way, but controller God. Krishna is the lover God. He is more into loving relationships and pastimes that deal with love. Narayan is more into the control aspect. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, the Supreme Absolute Truth himself. But in those features of control, etc., even those personalities, God himself will sometimes worship the devotee of God, because they know the devotees have come to a level where they can relate with the Lord on equal terms and even superior terms. It's very hard to understand. In most religious sciences, that would be considered sacrilege, but it is not sacrilege when there's true love, because in love, there is no manipulating anybody. There's no controlling anybody. If you say, well, there's no control, then there'll be loss of control. Not true. In the material world, there is a feeling that without control, you lose control. That's not true. We can show it again and again in many families. I've been a marriage counselor now. This is my 50th year. In fact, this month is the completion of my 50th year as a marriage counselor. I often tell families that the number one aspect of parenting is to love your child, have genuine love for your child, and deal with your child with love. That child is going to grow up to be a very strong child and do great things. Now, in the meantime, there may be some nonsense that happens here and there, but it'll give you strength. It'll build muscle for you when you deal with those situations. But when you love a child, you don't need to control the child, because love is more powerful than control. And it is seen that true love can defeat anyone and everyone in this world, and anyone and everyone, all circumstances, places and circumstances, and times and people put together cannot defeat true love. Transcendent love cannot be defeated. So we need to rise to that occasion so that we become fearless, so that we become unstoppable, so that we come to the stage where fallibility is no longer our problem, because we're always attaching with the infallible. If you attach to the infallible, not merge with the infallible, attach in intention, attach with love, then you will also have the qualities. And that Krishna promises in the Bhagavad Gita. Kaunteya tu pratijanihi nami bhakta pranashati. So these are some things that we should consider. And in the second offense, not try to see that others might become equal or independent of the Lord, no matter how great they are. Lord Brahma is an amazingly great person. Amazing. In fact, the lineage in which I come is called the Brahma Madhava Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. It starts from Brahma. It's his Sampradaya. Obviously a great person. Amazing devotees in this lineage. Amazing, amazing devotees. In fact, the Lord himself comes and joins the lineage. That's how powerful this lineage is. Therefore called the Gaudiya also, Sampradaya, like that. And Lord Shiva, amazing. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada once describes him as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's how powerful Lord Shiva is. Still, they're devotees of Lord Krishna, and they're unparalleled devotees of Lord Krishna, and therefore considered amazing personalities that we can't even imagine how great they are. But never should we think that they're independent of Lord Vishnu or Krishna, or that they are equal. Nobody is equal to Krishna. He is the greatest. Now, he may allow a person to play a role that looks like a superior role, that is a superior role. But that's not easy to understand. This is transcendental science. We're not here to talk transcendental science. It's not easy to understand that, but the heart will accept it. The mind cannot wrap around this. Mind is incapable of wrapping around transcendental topics. That's why it's called transcendental. It transcends the mind, transcends the intelligence, transcends the ego. So how do you understand something that, because understanding is within these, how can you understand something beyond that? It's through the heart. Because the heart, which is the spiritual heart, which is sitting here, the center of the chest, little above the solar plexus, that spiritual heart contains two souls. The individual soul that is of the person, like in my case, my soul, in your case, your soul, and then the Lord himself coming as the super soul. These two souls are sitting there in the heart. So understanding how they operate, what happens, will help us understand these higher topics. But first we have to come to that level. That's called the level of self-realization. But first we have to come to the mode of goodness, where we become purified from those material longings that keep us in the mode of passion and ignorance. And then from goodness, we can come to pure goodness. And self-realization helps us do that. And then we can come to understanding God himself, coming to know about God. Understanding is later, at least coming to know who is God, what does he look like, what are the things that he loves doing, things like that. Details about him, real details, to the extent that people can paint him based on those details. Create a photograph of him with painting. Again, as I said, some of you are going to get blown out of the water with those things I'm saying. But please don't mind. We're just speaking the truth here. But each and every one of us is a child of Krishna, is a child of God. We deserve to know these things and rise to the level of what it means to be a child of God, to be a beloved of God, to be part and parcel of his estate, to understand what it means to serve and how the word service means expression of love, not work as it means in the English dictionary. The English dictionary's definition of service is woefully weak compared to what the real meaning of service is when it comes to God consciousness. So thank you all very much. As I said, we keep these sessions to 30 minutes. For those of you who are on Zoom right now, if you have anything you'd like to say, ask. Later on, I'm going to open it up so that even those who are on YouTube can ask questions. But currently, my personal capacity is that I'm able to handle Zoom well enough, learning how to use YouTube in a certain way that if there were questions on YouTube, I can answer them as well. Of course, they're simple. Working alone and not having someone who can feed me the questions, this, that, and the other, it'll happen at the right time. In the meantime, the idea was to just get these videos out, get this message out, so that you will be completely enlivened and understand that you were meant to live a life of miraculous greatness, life on your terms. That's the design of Krishna. That is the design of God. Any points you'd like to raise? Those of you who are on.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Yes.
I have a small doubt, Prabhu.
Go ahead.
It is said that Lord Krishna is one of the avatar of Lord Vishnu.
Yes.
So, Lord Vishnu has the same quality as Lord Krishna, right, Prabhu?
No, no. That statement that people make that Lord Krishna is an avatar of Lord Vishnu. What they don't tell you, and maybe they don't know it, some of them don't know it, some know it, but they don't say, is that Lord Vishnu came way after Krishna. From Krishna comes Balaram. From Balaram come what is called the comes from Lord Balaram comes the Chaturvyuha. Chaturvyuha is Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Vasudev.
Vasudev, yes,
Right?
Prabhu.
And then
Yes, Prabhu.
from Vasudev, from these Chaturvyuha come Maha Chaturvyuha, Maha Vasudev, Maha Sankarshan, Maha Pradyumna, Maha Aniruddha. From Maha Sankarshan comes Narayan. From Narayan comes Maha Vishnu. From Maha Vishnu come the three Vishnus that I spoke about earlier. Now, when Krishna comes, he comes through them. So it seems like that they are the ones who are the cause. They're not the cause. He's the original cause.
Okay.
In the Srimad Bhagavatam is clearly stated, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, meaning that he is the origin. From him, everyone comes. And in one part of the Bhagavatam, it is described, in the beginning, there was nobody but Krishna. Aham evasam evagre, nan yad yad sadasat param. Paschadaham yadetacha, yo vishishyeta swasmi aham. Krishna says, in the beginning, there was nobody but him. So there wasn't even Vishnu. But from him comes Vishnu, and Vishnu is a part of him. Just like, say, for example, you're a mother, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
You're also a wife, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
You're also a citizen of in this case, maybe Australia, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. So my point is that came after you were born, right?
Yes.
The
Yes,
original
Prabhu.
person is you, and then you became a mother, you became a wife, you became a citizen of Australia.
Yeah.
Now, if someone says you're Australian because you're living in Australia, does that mean that you are born Australian? No.
No.
So similarly, Lord Vishnu comes from Krishna.
Okay.
So yes, Krishna is a Vishnu avatar because he is Vishnu Tattva. So therefore called Vishnu avatar. But Vishnu did not manifest Krishna. Krishna manifests Vishnu. You understand the point? Okay.
Yes,
So
Prabhu.
since Krishna is the original, all the qualities, 64 qualities that he has, all of them have. All of the Vishnu Tattvas. For example, whatever you have as a child, you also have as a mother, right? You also have as a wife, you also have as an Australian citizen, correct?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah, because it's you. So Vishnu is Krishna coming for a particular purpose.
Yes.
You see? So he serves that purpose. He doesn't go outside that purpose. Krishna serves all purposes.
Yeah.
But Vishnu, Narayan, Ram, all of these persons, they do some role, some part of everything that Krishna does. You get the idea?
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah, sure. Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that clarifies a lot. All right. Thank you all very much. You all have a great day ahead of you tomorrow. And of course, a great week ahead of you. And we'll see you tomorrow. And I'll make sure that the computer is working so I can get the documents up there. I apologize for that. And in any case, I think we said enough that there's a lot to ponder. Let's put it this way. Thank you again. All the best.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.